Well, here we are again. Over the last couple of videos, I've talked about why I believe PlayStation going digital only is a huge mistake. Then we talked about why physical PlayStation games still matter. And honestly, I want to thank all of you, whether you agreed with me or completely disagreed. The conversations in the comments have been fantastic, because that's what gaming should be. A discussion, not an argument. Today, I want to look at this topic from a completely different perspective. Instead of asking what we lose, let's ask, what does PlayStation lose? Because honestly, I believe the answer is quite a lot. When I think about PlayStation, I don't immediately think about a digital storefront. I think about walking into a store, seeing an entire wall filled with PlayStation games. The original PlayStation, the PlayStation 2, the PlayStation 3, the PlayStation 4, the PlayStation 5. For nearly 30 years, physical games have been a part of PlayStation's identity. They've always been there. Every generation, every console, every midnight launch, every holiday season, every birthday. Physical games have always been a part of that experience. And honestly, it's difficult to imagine PlayStation without them. Do you remember getting a brand new PlayStation game? Maybe your parents bought it for you. Maybe you saved up your allowance. Maybe it was a birthday gift. Or maybe you stood in line at midnight waiting for the newest release. Those moments are memories. Driving home, looking at the box art, opening the case, taking the disc out for the very first time, putting it into your PlayStation, waiting for the game to install. That excitement is something I never completely felt with a digital download. Don't get me wrong, digital is convenient, but convenience and excitement aren't always the same thing. Something people don't talk about very often is how important game stores have been to PlayStation's success. Think about it. How many times have you walked into a store, planning to buy one game, only to leave with 3? And honestly, I've done that more times than I'd like to admit. I've seen cheeseburgers stick to a grocery list better than I have, but that's part of the fun. You discover games you weren't looking for. You notice a hidden gem sitting on the shelf. You strike up conversations with other gamers. That experience helped build the PlayStation community, and I think we'd lose something valuable if it disappeared. When people see my PlayStation collection, some of them probably think, that's a lot of plastic cases. But I don't see plastic cases. I see memories. I remember where I bought certain games. I remember who recommended them. I remember the first time I played them. Every game has a story. Every game represents a different chapter in my life as a gamer. That's why collecting means so much to me. It's not about owning the most games. It's about remembering the experiences that came with them. Remember midnight launches? Standing outside a store with dozens, sometimes hundreds of other gamers? Everyone talked about the game, sharing theories, laughing, counting down the minutes, then finally walking out with your copy in your hands. Those were special moments. They weren't just about buying a game. They were about being a part of a community. Digital downloads are convenient, but they can't recreate that feeling. One of my favorite memories growing up was lending games to friends. Dude, you have to play this. Then you'd hand them the case. A week later they were hooked. That's how I discovered some of my favorite games, and I'm willing to bet a lot of you have similar memories. Physical games made sharing easy. They introduced people to games they might never have bought otherwise. Here's something I think about a lot. 20 years from now, what will PlayStation history look like? Will future gamers be able to walk into a retro game store and discover PlayStation 6 games? Will there be collector's editions sitting on shelves? Will younger gamers get to experience that excitement? Or will everything simply exist as a digital download tied to an online account? I don't know. And honestly, that's what worries me, because gaming history deserves to be preserved. Just like movies, just like music, just like books. Sony, you've built one of the greatest brands in gaming history. PlayStation has given us unforgettable memories, amazing exclusives, legendary consoles, and incredible communities. Physical games have always been part of that journey. I'm not asking you to abandon digital. Digital clearly has its place. I'm simply asking you not to forget the fans who still value physical media. Give us a choice, because that's what PlayStation has been all about. Giving players incredible experiences. At the end of the day, this isn't really about discs. It's about preserving part of gaming history. It's remembering where PlayStation came from. It's about making sure future generations can experience gaming the same way many of us did. Maybe one day, everything will become digital. Maybe that's inevitable. But until that day comes, I'll continue supporting physical games whenever I can. Because for me, physical PlayStation games aren't just products. They're memories. They're history. And they're part of what made me fall in love with gaming. But now, I want to hear from all of you. What would you miss the most if physical PlayStation games disappeared forever? Would it be the box art, the collector's editions, the excitement of buying a new game, or maybe something I didn't even mention? Let me know in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this discussion, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to TTBurger PlayStation, and ring that notification bell for more PlayStation reviews, retrospectives, documentaries, and discussions. As always, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. 自我のようなものがあって会話もできるのだとしたらヘラクレイトスは特別な存在なのだろうな。